اكتشف بلدك التانية من أول وجديد. هي دي مصر.
So, as we seen in that video, there are like magnificent places in Egypt. Also, there's Nile River and a lot of nice places that everyone must go and visit that place. The question that I raised at the beginning, what's Egypt? Officially called the Arab Republic of Egypt. So we can get from this name that it's an Arab country and it's a republic system, which does not follow any other kind of system like kingdom and so on and so forth. So Egypt, as all of us know, it has a wealthy history, culture, religion, and versatile geography. So Egypt is a special spot that everyone who gets to visit this place. Egypt, as we know that it contains a lot of civilization, but this is not the only thing in Egypt. We have Islam, which came long time before to Egypt. So Egypt, it contains of many culture, civilization, inheritance from people, and also we have like the pyramids, which is an old pyramids and a good structure in Egypt. So the place is must to be visited, as I mentioned at the beginning. So let's go on and see what's the pyramids. So pyramids was built around 2500 BC, is a formidable engineering achievement. At the beginning, let me express that I will not be going farther into whatever everyone is knowing from us, as Egypt is one of the places that considered to have Al-Azhar, which is the oldest university in the Muslim world. People will go there to study Islamic subject as well, medical and so on. And also Egypt is considered to be the one that has the pyramids and the ancient civilization. I will take a small bite of these things that I just mentioned, but I will go more into different angle to show you what's Egypt look like really. So Egypt in 3000 BC, the two kingdoms, the Upper and Lower Egypt. I will be mentioning what does it mean, the Upper and Lower Egypt, when it comes to the Nile River. But first of all, let's see what Egypt contribute to the civilization. It contributes to the civilization during the time when two kingdoms, the Upper and Lower Egypt, united. It contributes into many different types. The development of great culture, tradition, writings, as we know that it includes the hieroglyphic, and it used to instrument the state of these two united kingdoms. So the first question, which is the most important question that we have to answer, where is it located? It's located the northern part of Africa, and the surprising part, most of you would know that Egypt, it's all in Africa, but we have a small part of it, which is Sinai Desert, which is located into the Asian continent. So you can consider that Egypt is part of Asia as well as Africa. Egypt is considered to be the 31st largest country in the world, where its area make it. So it's 1 million square kilometers. And that's why Egypt is considered to be the 31st largest country in the world. So talking about the capital of any country, we have to mention that capital is the heart of the country. And here what comes this beautiful place where you can see that Nile River across the country, and you can see these buildings and this magnificent place. And the time of building the capital of Egypt was Cairo, and it built a long time ago, and it pronounced in Arabic, as we know that because Egypt is an Arab country, so they say that it's Al-Qahira, and it built around the Nile River. And later I will be mentioning why Nile River is important to Egyptian, as well from the time of ancient until today. So one surprising fact about Cairo, it's the biggest city in the African continent. So when it comes to the time that we talk about the surrounding countries of Egypt, I think it's quite boring when we talk about geographic for some of you, but it has to be mentioned that Sudan and Libya and the part of Gaza, which is Palestine, is the neighbor to Egypt. Because as I mentioned at the beginning that Sinai Desert is considered to be part of Asia, and that's where Gaza borders came with Egyptian borders. So talking about people and culture, it's good to mention that Egypt contains of two religions. So the first one, which is making of the majority of Egyptians, which is 90% of Egyptians are Muslims, and the 10%, which is the minority of making the Egyptian as Christians. So we have also religion in Egypt, which is the Christian and Muslim. So this is like a problem in Egypt, where the government considered that the population of Egyptian is going to is growing more than it should be. So that's why the country is promoting the people to limit their birth, because Egyptian population now is 102.3 million, and it's considered to be in 20 years time to 30 years time to be the double of this time. So in 20 years time, it will be 202 million people in Egypt. Egypt also considered to be one of the largest population country in the world. So how do we know and how much do we know about the Nile River? So the first fact that we have to mention is that people of Egypt are staying and populated the area between the Nile, either the right or the left side, as we can see in the picture. Without the Nile River, from the time of ancient until today, Egypt will be 100% desert. So when it comes to the Nile River, we have to mention that the Arabic term, which is Nahr al-Nil, and it's considered to be the longest river in the world. And it's called the father of African rivers. Why it's considered to be the longest? Because the length of it, it's considered to be 6,693 kilometers. Please take note of this because it's an important fact about the Nile River. Also, during the ancient time, they consider Nile River to be the lifeline for Egypt. As I mentioned, it used to be people to stay on the right and left side of the Nile. And then they will use this Nile River to transport, to grow some plants, and to eat and drink as well. And an interesting fact, and it's an opposite of all rivers in the world. Nile River is among the fewest river in the world to flow its river from the south to the north. And now it comes to the time that I mentioned at the beginning, why we have the lower and the upper Egypt. Why do you say that there's a lower and upper? The upper of Egypt, which is the south area where the Nile comes from. So that's why they call it the upper, because the Nile will come from here. And it comes to the lower, which is the north area. Also, the water of Nile River, it came from many countries in Africa. I will be mentioning some of it: Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Sudan. And there are like other countries that where the water comes from their countries, and then it flowed into the Nile River. Now, leaving this all, we have to mention that when Islam came to Egypt, Islam came to Egypt by the companion Umar ibn al-As, and that's where the first mosque was named after him. So the first mosque in Egypt was built during 641 AD and 642. And it was built in the capital, which is Fustat, during that time. and it's considered to be the first mosque in Africa as well as in Egypt. Going into major agricultural products in Egypt, and here we can see that the best cotton that came to the world, it was produced in Egypt during the old times. And also the second and the third and the fourth top agriculture was the wheat and sugarcane and rice. So we have now the ancient civilization and the Egyptian civilization, and how, where I mentioned at the beginning, how these ancient civilization contribute to the world and to Egypt specifically. So Egypt was famous by its pharaoh, the pyramids, the great pyramids of Giza, which every one of us, if you want to tell someone that you are from Egypt, you have to mention that the pyramids, and you will know where is the pyramids. It's of course the Egypt. So there are a lot of civilizations and ancient civilization. Some of it, the great pyramids of Giza, the great Sphinx, the Egyptian Museum, GEM, Museum of Saqqara, and others. So if any one of you want to visit Egypt, it's a must for you to visit these ancient civilization where you can see the pharaoh, you can see how they used to live, you can see the pyramids, how they built it, and it took them many years to build these huge pyramids that contribute to engineering, as I will be mentioning in the slide soon. So moving from these all, we have to look into the side of local food and the Egyptian cuisine. So Egypt has influenced by many cultures: Persian, Greek, Roman, Ottoman, European, and Syrian cultures, and where this culture contribute to the Egyptian civilization as well as its own food. So I'll be mentioning some of this food, but first, if we mention food, we have to look into the percentage where a lot of Egyptians are going to be poor because of the economic there. And now it's going well, but still there's a huge percentage of Egyptians that they are poor. And that's when the food comes to play an important role in the country. So ful mudammas, which considered to be the main dish in the breakfast of Egyptians, where you can find it everywhere during the breakfast, even during different time, but people will take it in the breakfast, where it is a bean, where you can just spear some garlic with it, put lemon juice, and put spicy oil, and you can eat it with bread. And bread, it's an important thing for Egyptian. If you mention that the Malaysian or some of Asian countries, they take their first priority to the rice. But for us Egyptians and some of our countries, bread is the main thing for us to take it with our food. So the second, which is kushari. Kushari is considered to be for poor people as well as rich, because it does not contain meat or beef on it. And that's why you can see these beautiful pictures. It comes with a mix of spaghetti, rice, and fried onion, and hummus. And at the end of the day, when they bought it level by level, you can look at it and see like a special kind of art in front of you. Moving to different, and also it considered to be a food for poor people as well as rich, and it's cheap sometimes, because if you contain with this kind of dish beef or meat, which is mulkhiyah. Mulkhiyah is a green leaf vegetables that can be cooked with meat or can be cooked with chicken, and sometimes it can be cooked without these two expensive meat. Moving to fatta, and interestingly, you can find fatta everywhere, every time, but people in Egypt will only use it, and it's famous during the time of Eid al-Adha, where Muslims will slaughter animals, and then the time of fatta will come, where rice and sauce will come with the meat, and they will cook it together, and some bread will be at the bottom of this dish, and then they will pour some of the sauce of the cooked meat. We come to ruz mu'ammar, and it can be considered as sweet. At the same time, it can be considered as a main dish for food, where it's a dish of rice prepared with additional milk, butter, or milk, or cream, where chicken can be put together, and it can be something for like dinner or lunch. And sometimes it can be a side of sweet if you don't put some of these chicken with it. And now we came to the last slides, which is a picture is worth 1,000 words, where now we cannot see this beautiful picture during our time because of the sky buildings around the pyramids and in Cairo. But during that time, people can see from their homes, as you can see in these pictures, people can see the pyramids. And also this picture contains mosque, where we mentioned at the beginning that Islam came with the companion Amr ibn al-As when he opened Egypt. And that's why you can find a lot of mosques there. And one of them, the famous one and the oldest, is Masjid Amr ibn al-As. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Brother Khalid, for this very insightful presentation. You took us through what was Egypt, why they chose Cairo as main city, the capital, why the city was so important for everyone. You gave us a little bit of history of the Nile, the civilization, the cuisines. I saw people were like in the chat box or yummy, 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 like, I didn't have my dinner yet, and I'm feeling so hungry. I want to go eat. Like, but yeah, it was an amazing presentation. So, questions, please write down your questions in the along with your name so that our team. I'm sure most of you here are not Egyptians or have not experienced living in Egypt. Hence, here is your chance to ask your burning question in relation to Egypt or class. For the Zoom audience, I would like to remind you, if you have any question for the Khalid, you may put your name and the questions in the chat box. Or if you wish to speak out, you may do so when our team call out your name. Thank you. Guys, we are waiting for your questions. Okay, personally, I have a question while waiting for the rest to bring up their questions. I saw like different types of foods as you were sharing, or like if you have to, if I have to have only one of those meals for dinner now, which one will you tell me to go for? You're muted.
I was waiting to be unmuted.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a difficult question because I didn't have my dinner yet, so I think we can share it together. But for me, I would prefer to go with full mudammas, but with the tradition of Egyptian, because full mudammas has been sent and has been taken from Syrian people, from Lebanese, from Arab, like most of Arab countries are making full as well, but it's different with different sauces and different type of cooking. So I think I will go with full mudammas or kushari because these two does not contain meats and it's good for you to eat it before you sleep.
Okay.
Inshallah, one day we'll meet there.
Yeah, inshallah. There are some questions in the comments. We have so far two. Sister said, can you tell us the situation at Egypt right now?
The situation right now.
Yeah.
In terms of like the political situation, or like from what angle exactly?
Maybe like the political or the like political situation there, because after
Uh,
the Morsi,
I think now it's more into stabilized, because we've seen that like there's only one government that control the country, so they are promoting for like more stability. That this does not consider that if someone is from the opposite party or from the same party will be winning, will be the one who win or lose. But I think for people from outside of Egypt, it's safe for them, because the country is promoting this kind of welcoming tourists to the country and come and visit Egypt. The place is safe. I think from the political point of view for Egyptian, it might be different, but for international people who come from overseas, uh, I would say it's quite safe for them. You can visit, you can enjoy your time, and police will be with you anytime if you need help. It's safe nowadays.
Thank you. That's good. Next question from Brother Izuddin. He said, Brother Khalid, I'm curious how different is the Egyptian dialect compared to other Arabic dialects, such as Emirati. Can you give an example? That's
Uh,
true.
the thing is that like if we talk about Arabic, the formal one, it's totally different from the slang one. So each country has its own slang. Egypt considered to be the easiest one because we have a lot of movie series, and Egypt, as I mentioned in my slides, it contributes to many field to the world. So we had the first cinema, we have the first printer in Egypt. So that's why when the Egyptian slang contribute to the non-native, the first and the easy example that I would say is that the Arabic Fusha, if you mentioned that, how are you? So you can say كيف حالك. That's the formal one that everyone would know. But for Egyptian, we say أخبارك, or we can say عامل إيه. So عامل إيه exactly is عامل, it means the person who work or the work itself. إيه, it means like how. So how we work, but I wouldn't take it how we work. Sometimes if you ask your friend, this guy who what's his occupation, like what does he do for living, you could say هو بيعمل ايه, or هو بيعمل ايه, it can be considered like what is he doing now, or it can be considered like what he does in the general situation.
Very interesting dialect. Thank you for answering that. I hope one day we will be able to differentiate and have less problems using the Egyptian dialect. Next question is from Heba Al-Silawi. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. If we go to Egypt, can we enter inside the pyramids?
If you want to look into the pharaoh itself, or some of the gold and the stuff that these kings will bury with them when they die, because there is an ideology that this old ancient thought that if they die, if they carry like water, food, gold with them, and you bury these all of things with them, they will be returned to life. So that's why the gold and their clothes and stuff will be buried with them. But this has been moved to the museum. So if you enter the pyramids, you can still find the rocks and the stuff. But if you want to look into the pharaoh, into whatever they used to carry with them when they die, you have to go to the museum, because they take it, I think, last year to the museum. So there's only one museum that contains all of these beautiful and magnificent civilization of the ancient Egyptian.
That's very good to know. I hope personally and everyone in this meeting, we will visit Egypt one day. The next question for you is from Sister Aida. How many ethnicities does Egypt have? Or it is right to generally identify all of you as Arabs?
I would say that, as I mentioned in my slides, that people consider us as Arab, and that's why Egypt is the Arab Republic of Egypt. The ethnicity, there's only one ethnicity. It is not like Malaysian context where you have Chinese and the Malay, Indians, and Oran Asli. We only have Egyptians. So there's only one ethnicity where all Egyptian will be considered as just Egyptian. And people consider us also as an Arab, but some people will consider that like you came from Africa, so you go to Africa. But I was still there, and we consider to be an Arab.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. You know, it's good to know how people will like to be referred to for not, or you can offend them in saying something they don't want you to mention. So,
But we talk in Arabic, and we don't have any other language in Egypt.
okay.
And since the time that Islam came to Egypt, we use our slang and everything, and directions, and whatever you can imagine is still in Arabic language. And the only dialogue that is allowed for official use is only Arabic in Egypt.
Okay. Thank you for answering that one. The next one is about food. Where can I find Egyptian food in IIUM?
It's a hard question to be answered, but I would say that there, like me myself, I was hungry a few days ago, and I wanted to eat some Egyptian food, but UAE does not have, because like UAE considered like to have some Arabic food, which is all the shawarma and some Algerian food. But if you really want, you have to go to a restaurant called Toots. It was in one Samajo Mall. I've been there 2 days back, but the restaurant, unfortunately, is closed due to the COVID pandemic, and the business is collapsed. I'm not sure if other branch is still operating. I would ask, and I would pass my answer to Ishaq later on. Maybe he would share it with you. But the problem is that I'm dying to find an Egyptian restaurant, but I can find a lot of Syrian restaurant, even whatever I mentioned in my slides, like kushari or full mudammas, you will find it there, but they cooked this type of food in different tradition, other than how Egyptian used to do it.
Okay. Thank you for that. Don't forget to send me the name.
I will do it.
Okay, the next one is when is the best time of the year to go for tourism in Egypt?
I think the best time is between like after summer and during the springtime, and after winter and before summer and during the spring, because Egypt contains of 4 seasons. As we know, most of Arab countries contain of 4 seasons, not like Malaysia, only rainy and summer, but we have winter, spring, autumn, and what did I did mention? Spring,
yeah,
summer, winter, and autumn. Yes. So the best is between the month of, I would say, 4, 5, and 6. So between May to June, July. So this is like the time when winter will end, and you will find like the spring will come, and after this it will be summer. So this is the best time where the weather, you can wear your own like shirt or t-shirt and you go down the streets. Sometimes if it's the early morning, you could just wear like a small jacket that will just like cover you from this moment of winter. But I think overall you can just go with that.
Okay, thank you. As you have told us, like what is the best time to go, and
Yes,
what is the worst time to go, or the best time to not go?
if you like it, that depends on the person itself. For me, I was dying to spend winter in Egypt, and I've went at the beginning of this year, between January, December, at the end of last year, and the beginning of this year. So December, January, February. But it was the coldest time because February considered to be the one that where winter will hit its high level and they will go a bit by bit to like the spring. So if you really like cold weather, we don't have snow in Egypt. And rain also is not considered to be a lot in Egypt, considered to be like in Alexandria, where sometimes it rains, but overall it does not. So you may go there if you like winter, but if you prefer to have a bit of winter with the spring, I would prefer to go between May, June, July.
Okay, thank you. We have someone who really wants to go to Egypt. He's asking, are
Yeah, I
there,
would love to go there, but I'm waiting to finish my thing.
yeah, the person he's asking in the comments, are there theme parks in Egypt? If yes, which one do you recommend?
There's a lot of places. Like Egypt is famous, as I mentioned, by ancient civilization, where you can just go to museums. If you like the seas, we have the Mediterranean, we have Red Sea, we have a lot of nice places. There's a lot of theme parks as well in Egypt. I think mainly you can find them in Cairo, where is the capital city of Egypt. Which one exactly? The problem that I cannot mention because I have been here for 6 years in Malaysia. I have only went there for total of 6 months during this 6 years period. So I'm not aware which one is the best at the moment, but someone just shared, please check the link below, just for attendance. I thought it's for the theme parks. But the country is now is moving forward. It's building new capital, if you have heard about it. So we have like something called the new capital for Egypt, العاصمة الإدارية الجديدة, which will be quite modern, not crowded as before. Well, all embassies of the world will be there, all ministries. It will be quite similar to Butrujaya, but also like with this modern vision of 2021. I think they will build like a lot of nice places, but mainly theme parks is in Cairo. Which one is the best? I will try to ask my friends who stay in Egypt now at the moment, and they will suggest for me. I will send it to Ishaq as well.
Again, thank you. Okay, one last question. It's okay to ask all these questions about what to do when you are in Egypt, right? So what can I do if I want to go to Egypt right now? Like what are the process or simple steps?
Uh, I would say there's only two ways. So the
Okay.
first one, it's for these countries who are eligible for arrival visa or no visa at all. So I would say these countries are the one has mutual agreement between Egypt and their countries. Mainly it will be European countries, American countries, some of Arab countries as well, like Jordan, Saudi, Qatar, and these countries. And there are, of course, some of Asian countries that have mutual no visa to Egypt, and also Egyptian will not have or required to have visa. And the second type, which is the required visa. And it is not a hard process. It's an easy process. You just have to go to the embassy, submit some documents, show them that you have a flight booking, you have the hotel, and how many days you will spend there. And the fees of this is not high. I don't know exactly how much, but I would say that it's between 400 Malaysian ringgit and below, if I'm not mistakenly, and if the government does not increase this fees. But I would say it's an easy process because we have a lot of tourists that came from Russia, from Ukraine, from Asian countries who also like study or just go there for like few months time to enjoy. But I think it's an easy process. I will try to find how and how much and send it to you as well.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Brother Khalid. It was great to have this discussion with you. I think me and all the participants of this program, we have learned a lot about the Egyptian culture, the foods, and a little bit of history about Egypt. Thank you for allowing us to have this knowledge about Egypt.
Thank you so much for listening. Before I just mute, there's someone asked, are Egypt universities recommended? I would say if it's for Islamic studies, for medical, I think we have the best universities among the African countries as well as Arab. But which one is the best? I think Ain Shams. It's the best for medical, as my mother and my father are graduated from there, and it's the highest, and it's the difficult ones in Egypt to study medical. That's why where knowledge will come. For Islamic studies, of course, Al-Azhar is the best, and that's it. Thank you so much, Ishaq.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Okay, next. I hope everyone was excited to hear from our brother Khaled. Now we have, it is time for the sharing of the second culture and the second country. For that, we will be having two speakers. Our first speaker will be Sister Amal Yaserah, who is a final year KENMS student in IIUM. Together with her, we will have Sister Syahirah, who is also from Brunei and a fourth-year law student. Unlike Egypt, Brunei has the same time as Malaysia, which means they also have they are at 9:46 p.m. So without further ado, I will pass the screen to Sister Yaserah and Sister Amal and Sister Syahirah. Ustaz, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, brother. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. So how are you guys? I hope you are still awake right now to hear our introduction about Brunei Darussalam. So firstly, I would like to thank you all for joining this humble chit chat for the night, and also thank you to the organizer for inviting us in this Culture Dialogue 2.0. So my name is Amal Yaserah, and together with me is my colleague Nur Syahirah, and we will both together will be introducing and explaining to you guys basically basic knowledge about Brunei, about the culture of Brunei, the tourism, the delicious foods in Brunei, and also a little bit about how Brunei is different from Malaysia. Okay, let's start. The next slide. Okay, so Brunei Darussalam, which means Nation of Brunei, the Abode of Peace. So from the name itself, it reflects the country, which is a peaceful country. And it has their own motto that is always in service with God's guidance. Okay, so basically Brunei, I will tell about the geographical location about where is Brunei located, okay? So basically Brunei is just a small country, and as you can see in the map, that is the Borneo Island where Brunei is located. And the green area, the green zone is what Brunei's look like. You see, it's just a small area among the Borneo Island. And the area is only 5,765 square kilometer, and it lies beside the Sabah and Sarawak, Malaysia, and also Indonesia, also Kalimantan, a part of Indonesia. So for the area, if you want to know, we can compare it. The area of Brunei is almost the same as Negeri Sembilan, Malaysia. But Negeri Sembilan, Malaysia is about 6,000 plus square kilometer, but Brunei is much smaller. But in Negeri Sembilan, the population in Negeri Sembilan itself is about 1 million plus. But in Brunei, it's barely reached 1 million. And the population as of 2021 is only 429,999 people, which is just a small number of population. And this number includes the foreigner that works in Brunei, which means that the actual population of Brunei is much lesser than this one. Okay, so if you wanted to travel to Brunei, you can travel there by airplane, okay, not by boat. And then if you want to travel from Malaysia to Brunei, it only costs you like around less than 2 hours. Okay. So that's about the geographical location. So next slide. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the map of Brunei Darussalam. There are only 4 districts in Brunei Darussalam, which is the Belait district, the Tutong district, the Brunei Muara district, and also Temburong district. And other information that you should know is that only 30% from the land of Brunei is developed, while the 70% is still forest reserve, forest coverage, okay, forest coverage. Okay, as you can see, the small district over there, that is the Brunei Muara district, although it is small, it is where the capital city located, that is the Bandar Seri Begawan. That is everything that is, for example, the favorite mall, the parks, the amusement park, the palace, everything that is interesting is always located in the Brunei Muara district. And as you know that, the Brunei Muara district is the most densely populated among the other districts in Brunei. Okay, so and the less densely populated is in Temburong district. Do you know why is it less densely? Because as you can see, there is gap between them, right? Between the Brunei Muara and Temburong district. This is because between the gap, it is actually Limbang apart from Sarawak. And before this, if you want to go to Temburong district, you need to go there by boat or by ferry or even by road. But if you want to go there by road, you need to have your passport on. You cannot go just like that because you have to cross the border from Brunei Muara to Temburong. But luckily in 2020, there is a bridge connecting the Brunei Muara and also Temburong. And now it is easy to go to Temburong. And now Temburong is connected to the mainland of Brunei. Okay, so, and also one more thing, you know that Brunei is the primary source of Brunei is oil and gas, right? And the primary source of Brunei is oil and gas. And Brunei, it mostly contributed to Brunei's GDP and to GDP, and Brunei rely to this sector more than any other sector. And it is located, and the operation of oil and gas is basically located in the Belait district. Okay, so next is about the language of Brunei. So as you should know that Brunei speaks Malay language and it is the official language, while the second language is English. For educational wise, Brunei use the same standard Malay language as Malaysia. However, Brunei also have their own Malay accent, such as, for example, Malaysia have their own Malaysia accent and Indonesia have their own Indonesia accent, but all of this state is a Malay state, right? So we have our own accent. And our accent is a bit like Sabah, maybe because we are neighbor. Okay, so and also Brunei also have their own dialect. For example, in Malaysia, they have the Kelantan dialect, the Terengganu dialect, right? So in Brunei, we also have the Tutong dialect, the Belait dialect, and so on. Okay, so no, not yet. Back. Okay, so from my experience, I'm a Bruneian and studying in Malaysia. I can understand well how the Malaysians speak without them translating into English, but they barely can understand what I'm speaking if I speak in my own Brunei accent. So I have to speak with them in the standard Malaysian accent. Okay, so that's about the language. Next is about the national philosophy of Brunei. So as you all know that Brunei is an absolute monarchy, and we strongly hold to the Melayu Islam Beraja, that is the Malay Islamic monarchy, as our national philosophy. Okay. And this Malay Islamic monarchy have been practiced over 651 years. It is a concept practiced by the citizens and residents of Brunei Darussalam, either in everyday activities or in the administration state affairs of the government. Okay, so the Malay Islamic monarchy, Melayu Islam Beraja, have its own meaning. For the Malay, it represents that Brunei Darussalam is a Malay state who practice the value of Malay tradition and culture. While the term Islamic in Brunei Darussalam is a religion that is pleasing to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which is the core government and official religion of Brunei. For instance, Brunei's public holiday is mostly based on the Islamic occasions such as the Mal Hijrah, the Maulud Nabi, and Isra Mi'raj, and so on. Okay, so as you all know that Brunei is still an absolute monarchy, and the monarchy system is a traditional Malay system that has existed since the first Sultanate of Brunei, that is Sultan Muhammad Shah. And the Sultan is in the monarchical institution is act as the government and head of state. So the people of Brunei Darussalam are obliged to stand firmly behind His Majesty, the Sultan right now, the 29th Sultan of Brunei, that is Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah, as a symbol of obedience to the Ulul Amri. Okay, so next slide. Next slide is about the culture of Brunei, so the ethnic groups. As you know that Brunei have 7 ethnic groups that is represented under the Malay Islam Raja that I told you before, the Malay Islamic monarchy. And it is the Malay tribe that represent the people of Brunei, that is the Melayu Brunei, Melayu Tutong, Melayu Blaid, Kedayan, Bisaya, Dusun, and also Murut. And it the Malay represents 66.3%, while the others, there are also Chinese that lives in Brunei, 11.2%, and the indigenous group are 3.4%, while the others, ethnic groups, are about 19.1%. So each tribe have their own practices and faith. And as you should know that although Brunei is an Islamic state, but not everyone in Brunei is Islam, not everyone is Muslim. There are also other religions such as Christian, Buddha, and Hindu, and so on. Okay, so next one. Okay, so last but not least, this is some additional facts about Brunei. The next slide. Okay, so additional facts about Brunei, the last one. There are free education and medical service in Brunei. What I mean about free is it's not like free. It's about like every time you go to the hospital, the government hospital, I mean, not the private one, yeah. The government hospital, you just need to pay like $1 every time you go to the hospital to meet the doctor, just $1. But this is for the Brunei resident only lah. And then there are only 4 public universities in Brunei, and all of them are located in the Brunei Muara district. Okay, so the other district, there are no universities. You should go to the Brunei Muara only. That is the UBD, UTB, Kupu SB, and also UNISA. Okay, so and next one is that public transport are rarely used in Brunei. So basically, if you go to Malaysia, you should if you go to Malaysia, you see that the citizen use the LRT, the buses, the taxi as their everyday transportation, right? But in Brunei, this public transportation are rarely used because most of them uses their own cars. And also you will rarely see motorcycle every time you go out. Every time you go out on the road, you can only see like 1 or 2 or 3 motors just passing by on the road. And lastly, only 3 McDonald's outlets available in Brunei. Can you believe that there's only 3? When I go to Malaysia, there are a lot of McDonald's outlets available. Like if you go there, there's McDonald's, there's McDonald's, but in Brunei, there's only 3. And it's only located in the Brunei Muara district, you know. So if you go to Brunei, you just hang around Brunei Muara district lah, because they are the most lucky one, because every interesting place is located in Brunei Muara district, and it is quite unfair for the other district. Okay, so that's all from me. I hope you gain a little bit knowledge on Brunei. Okay, I will sorry for any inconvenience, and thank you for lending your ears and attention to my presentation. Okay, so I will pass the floor to my colleague Syahirah. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Amal, for your elaboration about Brunei and where is Brunei located and where Brunei is located. And I might say I consider myself lucky as I live in Brunei Mora district, where all McDs are located. And I don't want to brag, but McD is like 6 minutes away from my house. So yeah, I am lucky. Okay, since Amal had briefed us the important facts of Brunei, my presentation would be more focused on tourism and culture in Brunei. First thing first, I will explain to you about marriage tradition in Brunei. To compare this with Malaysia, we actually have not much difference when it comes to wedding. But Brunei has few events that had been practiced since ancient times. Usually in Brunei, the weddings take place for 3 days consecutively, which is from Friday until Sunday with different agendas. On Friday is usually for the solemnization, and Saturday for powdering night, which I will be explaining after this. On Sunday, it will be for the reception. So what is powdering night? Powdering night, it is actually an event where family members and friends are invited to bless their marriage, to bless the newlyweds' marriage. If you can see from the picture, there are balls contained with colorful substances, which is made from colored rice flour and scented oils. So what we usually do with this is we anoint or smear the mixture on the newlyweds' foreheads here. And when we talk about attire, specifically for powdering night, the bride and groom will commonly put on this bright red color outfit, as you can see in the picture. The bride is also accessorized with brass on their heads, wearing brass gold-plated bands on their arms, their wrists, and also their ankles. And I don't know if you can see it clearly on the screen, but the bride is actually wrapped around her waist with a red kain songket. And this red kain songket is actually known as jongsarat in Brunei. It is a woven fabrics, and it's like our tradition that had been preserved through centuries. And it has been a custom in Brunei for the groom to give one piece of jongsarat as a wedding gift to the bride. And this one piece of jongsarat would normally cost around $200 and up to $1,000 or maybe more, but that depends to the pattern and or the design that you are looking for. Okay, so that's about the jongsarat. Now, remember when my friend mentioned regarding the ethnicities in Brunei, they have their own practice, and they have their batu asa is actually is like a kind of stone where it is usually used for sharpening things. So it will be like the machete, and then put the stone on top of the machete, and the bridegroom would step on them, and the guests start to pour the water on their and the guests owe money to them and not jewelries, as it is more convenient for everyone. And the second custom is makan malam. This has been practiced by Murud people, where basically it's just the newlyweds will be seated and start feeding each other. And I believe this has been widely practiced by people in Malaysia as well as in Brunei nowadays, where the groom feeds the bride and vice versa. So that's actually about that's all about makan malam is. And if I were to compare wedding functions between Brunei and Malaysia, like I've attended wedding reception in Malaysia, where there were two major differences that I actually realized. And for my fellow Malaysians, do correct me if I'm wrong in comment section, but the first difference that I noticed is the seating of the guests. Like in Brunei, the seating will be segregated for females and males. Like for this side is only for males, and this side is only for females. However, in Malaysia, I somehow realized that the guests can sit wherever or whoever they want to sit with. And secondly, the flow of the majlis, like in Brunei, we do this very systematically, where first we have to wait for the guests to arrive to the Dewan, to the hall, and and then we can start the majlis. However, in Malaysia, I can see that they set a time, for instance, like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. where the guests will come and go whenever they want within this stipulated time. So those are the two major differences I came across when attending to wedding reception in Malaysia. Now we move on to tourist attractions. Next. Tourist attractions in Brunei. There are so many places that I would like to recommend to you guys, or that you guys can go or visit in Brunei. But due to this time constraint we are facing, I would just focus on top 4 places that you guys should visit when you guys come to Brunei. So first place is Eco Corridor Park. It is a riverfront public park located in Bandar Seri Begawan and was officiated by our monarch in 2017. Yeah, it's quite recent. And its opening was in conjunctions with the Golden Jubilee of our Sultan's accessions to throne as the 29th Sultan of Brunei. And this park is 12 hectare wide, where it is a perfect, I think, personally, I think it is a perfect place to unwind, to do some outdoor sports, or even picnic by the river. Next one is, of course, our notable mosque, Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin Mosque. This is the first national mosque of Brunei Darussalam, and the name of this mosque was taken before our late former Sultan. And this is located on a 5-acre site surrounded by artificial lagoon, which you can see clearly in the picture on the screen. But the most recognizable feature of this masjid is that round, huge dome on top of this mosque, because it was made from pure gold. Not only this mosque is part of the history, but it is also a symbol of strong Islamic faith in this country, which this aligns well with our national philosophy, which is Malay Islamic monarchy. Next one is Jerudong Park. Next one is Jerudong Park. This one is one of the most go-to places in Brunei. Like, Jerudong Park was inaugurated in 1999 and is the one and only amusement park that can be found in Brunei. And it also has come to my knowledge that Jerudong Park is among the largest of parks in Southeast Asia. Fun facts about JP: during 1990s, there were famous singers that had come and performed in Jerudong Park. Well, I'm 100% sure each one of you know Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson. But this was long time ago. And we don't usually do this kind of entertainment nowadays in Brunei. So last but not least, Kampung Air, and it is also known as Water Village. And this is a prominent traditional settlement in Bandar Seri Begawan, where you can find the neighborhoods of traditional houses, or even schools and mosques, and they were all built on stilts above Brunei River. I definitely recommend everyone to have this experience at least once, to go on a boat and explore the whole village, because this only costs for $7 per ride. So like, if one day you guys come and visit Brunei, please try this. Please explore Water Village. You won't regret it. Next. Okay. Moving on to our traditional and famous dishes that you must know or try if you're planning to come to Brunei. Please just try all of these dishes. Firstly, needless to say, our traditional dish, ambuyat. This is also the local delicacy in East Malaysia, Sabah, and Sarawak. But they also call this as linut. While in Brunei, we call it ambuyat. So to describe ambuyat, it has glue-like texture and has blunt taste, which, honestly saying, it might not be appetizing as appetizing as it looks. But the trick to eat ambuyat is actually by using two pronged bamboo stick to scoop the ambuyat and swirl it and dip it in the sauce. We call this the sauce as cha-cha. This is to make the ambuyat more flavorful in our mouth lah. Especially when you have other side dishes to eat with the ambuyat, it's perfection. Ambuyat is perfect for me. So the next one, okay, the ambulong here, this is actually, okay, ambuyat is actually the end product of ambulong. Ambulong. And next one is kelupis. Kelupis is a traditional snack of Brunei and Sabah and Sarawak, where it is just a cooked glutinous rice in coconut milk that is flavored with pandan leaves and lastly wrapped in nyirik leaves. Kelupis is typically paired with curry or spicy meat known as rendang, while wajit, it is almost the same as kelupis as it is wrapped in nyirik leaves, but we usually have this as our dessert. Unlike kelupis, we normally eat kelupis as our meal course, and the texture of this wajit is less sticky and less chewy than kelupis, and it has dark brown in color due to coconut milk and sugar cooked to a dark caramel consistency before it is mixed with rice. And last but not least, I purposely saved the best for last, and it is nasi katok. Literal meaning of nasi katok is nok rice. It is every Bruneian's favorite dish, and it is very budget friendly. This nasi katok consists of plain rice, the sambal or sauce, and fried chicken. And this only costs us $1, and it is undeniably simple yet significant. Okay, before I wrap up this presentation, there are a few additional facts that I'd like to tell. Next. The first one is Jawi script. It is commonly used in Brunei. In case of any you guys don't know about Jawi, it was actually created by Malays and is basically Arabic, but with additional letters to fit our pronunciation, our Malay pronunciation. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, instead of Kelantan, Malaysia, they also still use Jawi script until now. Like in Brunei, you can find this everywhere. Because it usually displayed on every store. For example, the picture on these slides, you can see like there are Arabic letters, but actually it is read with as Kedai Makan Bandarku and this KFC. And in Brunei, not a single store that has no Jawi script displayed. Next fact is that all shops in Brunei are closed every Friday from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m., where everyone has to stop any kinds of activities or business that is mainly to honor Friday prayer is being performed in every masjid. Next one, the next fact is the longest bridge in Southeast Asia is actually located in Brunei, namely Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin Bridge, spanning 30 kilometers across the Brunei Bay, which connects the Temburong district to Bandar Seri Begawan. Like prior to this bridge was built, it took us approximately 2 hours to reach Temburong from Bandar Seri Begawan, but after the bridge is built, it took us only like 30 to 55 minutes to reach in Temburong. Like, yes, it's a quite big gap here. And last but not least, in Brunei, everyone knows everyone. I'm sure Bruneians know this joke. This is actually Bruneians inside jokes. Like, I give you an example. Like one day I went to my friend's house and I was getting interviewed by her parents. And they start asking about my parents, what are my parents doing? And believe me, they won't stop asking questions. And this interrogation session could go up to my paternal great-great-great-great-great-grandfather until they find the person that they think they know. And that's when we discovered that my friend is actually my extended family by marriage, of course. And I believe this happens all the time, and most Bruneians can relate to this. So thank you. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much to our sisters, Sister Amal, Yaserah, and Sister Syahirah. I took some notes while you were presenting about interesting facts that I would like to go with my takeaways for Brunei. The first one is the motto of Brunei: always in service with God's guidance. That's a very good thing to have. Personally, I'm from a Muslim country, but we don't have that as a module, just to compare. The second thing is the population is 429,999, right? So can you guys give me Brunei passport so that you guys can be for 130,000 people. So in case you need someone, I will be here to complete it. Next one,
I
you
would
guys.
agree. I would love also. So you
Oh,
consider me with this chef.
okay, sure, man, definitely. Okay, the next one is you guys said you have only 3 McDos in Brunei, right? So Brunei is like a small country. Okay, Guinea is a huge country. We have 0 McDo, so you guys don't need to complain. So you are cool on that in that sense. So, yeah. Okay, the next one is about the tourist attractions. Yeah, we have so many beautiful places to visit, and thank you for sharing that with us. And the last and the one I enjoy the most is, of course, the food. You know, yeah, I like food. And for example, one question that I start before that, I would like to remind the audience, those who are in Zoom, you can write your questions in the chat box along with your names. I will read them, or if you want to ask them the questions by yourself, you can write that as well. We will give you the opportunity to ask your questions to Sister Syahirah and Sister Amal. So my first question is, where can I see koto here in Malaysia or here in the US? Yeah, muted.
Okay. Your question is what can you rephrase the question?
Where can I find the nasi koto or buy, or if for free, I will take it as well.
Nasi katok in Brunei or in Malaysia?
In Malaysia here or in IIUM.
Oh, in Malaysia so far I haven't found anyone selling nasi katok though.
Oh, so I
Yeah,
have to go to Brunei to eat
sadly.
it.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. We have our
But
first
if you
question.
want, we can give you the recipe.
Usually I cook, but these days I'm not into cooking. So,
Okay, that's fine then.
Okay. We have our first question. What is the difference between Malay Brunei, Malay Belite, and Tutong? I hope I'm reading it correct.
Okay, so I will answer the question. So the difference between these 3 ethnic groups is basically all of them are Malay, right? But the difference is where they live. Like if the Malay Brunei, mostly they live in the Brunei Muara district. So from the grandfather, grandmother, so they are asal usul. They are like me, I'm from Malay Tutong because I live in Tutong district. So when the people that live in Belait district, so they are Malay Belait. And also there are difference in terms of dialect. For example, in Malay Brunei, they speak the basic Malay Brunei that everyone is speaking. But in Malay Tutong, they speak a little bit different than the Malay Brunei, and only the Tutong people will understand what they're speaking, because not everyone knew about their dialect. That the same goes to the Malay Blight. So that's the difference, and the culture is also different. Like for example, the one that Syahirah presented about the wedding reception in Malay Tutong, they have the basuh kaki when they have the wedding, right? So in Blight, they have different wedding tradition. So that's the different between the 3 of them.
Thank you. The next question is from Brother Malik. How different the Malay language? I mean, he's saying, what is the difference between the the Brunei Malay, the Malaysia Malay, and the Indonesia Malay? And if you can give examples.
Okay. I think the difference is like the dialect lah, not the language, not the Malay language, because I believe the Malay language is just the same in Nusantara, especially Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. But the accent that we use, I don't think, yeah, it has different accent lah between these countries. Like in Malaysia and Brunei, if I say like, kau bahapa? Kau bahapa is actually what are you doing? But in Malaysia, kau buat apa? Right?
Yeah.
And then macam if in Indonesia, I'm not sure about Indonesia, but I can actually understand Indonesian well because I've grown up with watching sinetron, so much sinetron. That's why I understand Indonesia. But the difference, I think the Indonesia is like, okay, I'm not sure, but I can only differentiate like Malaysia and Brunei because that's
It's okay.
what we face.
It's okay. Like basically,
It's just the same.
as you
I think
said,
it's
like
just the
same
same.
language. So
Yeah,
the difference will be on the countries, you know, the dialects from
the
background
dialects.
and
True.
everything. And
True.
as you guys were saying, like even in Brunei, you guys have different dialects. So the dialect
Yes.
is the impact. So I hope Brother Malik is satisfied. Next question is one guy from Facebook. Oh, okay. Brother One, his question is, love to hear about Brunei's culture. May I know, is there any public university you may recommend for us to further our study there? Like any public university that you can recommend for those who would like to go for higher studies in Brunei?
Okay, so basically we have 4 public university, the one that I taught you before. If you want to pursue your major into an Islamic university, we have University Sultan Sharif Ali, that is the UNISA. And if you want to pursue your study into technological, like science, you can go to University Technology Brunei. And if you want to go to our best public university, it's the University Brunei Darussalam. So that's the only university that we can recommend because that's the only university we have.
Fantastic. The next question is, oh my God, I hope this answer is yes. So the next question is it true that in Brunei there are no poor people? Everyone is rich?
I can't say much about this. I think basically we're just average people. I can say mostly Bruneians are middle class family. Yeah.
Okay.
Not rich and not poor.
That's good.
But Brunei standard of living is a bit higher than in
Higher.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually if there's usually Brunei will provide to poor people lah. They usually provide food or maybe the some kurnia from Sultan, gift from Sultan. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Good to know. And the next question is, does it mean that Malays in Brunei are Muslims by birth, like in Malaysia, or is it like Indonesians where people's religions are not defined by race? Should I repeat?
Can you repeat?
Okay. 2 questions. Like, does it mean that Malays in Brunei are Muslims by birth, like in Malaysia, like in my country, when your dad and mom are Muslims, you are born Muslim? So is it like that in Brunei, or is it like in Indonesia where people's religion are not defined by race?
I think it's more to our ethnicities. Like there are so many, like Amal had mentioned earlier that we have 7 ethnicities in Brunei, but it doesn't define our religion actually. There are people in Brunei like they're Iban Malay Iban or Malay Tutong, but they're not Muslim.
Okay, good to know. We have our next question is there any differences in Bruneian accent with Sabah accent? If yes, Can you give some examples from Brother Izzuddin, I assume? You're muted.
Yes. Yeah, no, there are difference between Brunei accent with Sabah accent. The example is, I'm not really sure.
I think Sabah likes to use the word bah at the end of the word. Like macam, kau bah apa bah? Like in Brunei, we just use like, kau bah apa? Like that, yeah.
Okay.
But actually, yeah, we can differentiate Sabahan accent and Brunei accent actually.
Oh.
But the word that we use is just the same.
Oh, I have 2 questions, but guys, I would like to say these will be the last 2 questions that I will be taking because we are a bit behind time. So yeah, the first one is from Brother Malik again. Oh, Malik is interested about Brunei. We'd like to visit. Is there any famous songs from Brunei that you would recommend to us? Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, there is. For example, like Aziz Harun. If you know him, Aziz Harun, Jazz Hayat. Yeah, I think that's the one that I know, the Bruneian singer.
Okay, may I recommend that you type the name in the chat box so that everyone can see or copy from there, you know? Because if you say it, people might forget. Personally, I would like to listen to the songs and to know more about how the songs. Okay. The next and last question for tonight will be from Brother Izzat or this Izzat. I hope brother. How about Hantaran Kawin in Brunei? Is it cheaper than Malaysia? I'm lost in this one, but yeah. How about Hantaran Kawin in Brunei? Is it cheaper than Malaysia? Anyone wants to take Sister Syahirah?
Okay.
Amal?
So hantaran kahwin in Brunei, they usually the family would the bride's family would ask for 300 for hantaran, $100 for hantaran, hantaran, and belanja angus, it's like a gift you give to the bride from the groom side. About, I would say, the minimum I can give, like, I think $3,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the average amount of belanja angus in Brunei.
Okay.
It could be beyond that. That
Yeah.
depends on the family.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sister Syahirah and Sister Amal. And yeah, we will move on to our next session of tonight's event. After hearing from the 3 amazing speakers, our guest speakers for tonight, Brother Khalid, Sister Amal, and Sister Syahirah, on their cultures, now it's time to test how much you guys have been paying attention and following the sharing. We will be playing a Kahoot consisting of 6 questions related to Egyptian and Brunei culture. The link of the Kahoot will be shared in the chat box. Please check. Yeah. Okay. Just click on that link, insert the game pin on the slide. We will wait for 1 minute for everyone to join. Is everyone ready? Is everyone in? Answer.
Is the link on the description?
Oh, can you guys? Okay, hold on. I will share the link. Yeah, the link is in the chat box. Please, okay. Guys, come. Okay. Guys, come, we have 38 participants. We need more.
Is there a code or just
Yeah,
like people can enter like this?
The code is on the screen, like 7,
Okay, okay, okay.
1, yeah. But Khalid, you should not be there.
No, I'm not gonna be just like my friends are asking.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, I'm not gonna join. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Okay, good. Okay, good. We need more. We need more. We need 7 more people. We need 7 more people. Guys, I'm seeing dropping off. Like, don't drop off, please. Zoom master, can you? I'm sorry. Zoom master. Zoom master. Can we start? Yeah, let's start the meeting. Yeah, start it. Okay. Next. Remember, guys, there is a prize to win at the end. So now we have the next question. How many districts are there in Guys, come on. Next time, everyone, please. I need everyone to be winners. We don't need some people to lose. Next. How long is the Nile River? Nile. Great, great. Good job, guys. Next. Name the one and only theme park in Brunei. Name the one and only theme park in Brunei. Yeah, everyone got it correct. Last question. This one will decide who will be the winner of this Kahoot. What is the first mosque in Egypt? Okay, was not bad. Next. Oh, now is the last question. What is the most tried dish in Brunei? Yay! Okay, now let's give a round of applause to our top three and everyone of you who has participated. As promised, we have a surprise gift for the first place winner. Our committee will get in touch with you through the Zoom chat box. Can you close this? Zoom master. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for participating and congratulations to the winner. The team will contact box, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, we have come to the end of our our second cultural dialogue series. It is a great honor to be your host for tonight. We hope you gained a lot of new info and knowledge on the culture of Egypt and Brunei, as well as the current issues. To all our speakers, Brother Khalid, Sister Amal, and Sister Syahirah, we all thank you for the insightful sharing. And it was a pleasure to have both the three of you with us tonight. That for all IIUM students to fill up the attendance form for the start points. The links has been shared in the chat box and will be shared again. Please don't forget to fill it up for you to get the start point. Before we end our session, please join us to take a picture, like a photo. If you are comfortable, please keep your camera switched on and smile like me. Yeah.